Good afternoon and welcome to yet another vlog. Today we are closer to home. Literally we are probably about 5 miles south of here is where we live. The area itself, this is called Bradwell Abbey. There are housing estates around here. There is an industrial estate. Across the road there is the Colonel, the old KFC chicken house. And basically we're starting off on a bit of a walk, a little bit of a tour, something that I just sort of threw together and see how it's going to come across. But we're starting off with a 12th century abbey, which I believed when we come here was going to be covered in scaffolding, but it's not. It's open, probably not open inside, but we can have a general look around. I said something that's tiny from the 12th century. You don't see these every day, so let's have a good look. Okay, so it's basically a 14th century Pilgrims Chapel. So I don't know much about it. I know it's been part of the history of where we live for a long time. If you can see it over there, it's a tiny place. I believe it was created by monks around the 12th century. Don't know the full history of it, but yeah, it's not an everyday occurrence. I suppose if you guys live in America, this precedes pretty much all your modern day history. I suppose you're talking medieval era, so it's like knights, horses, kings, queens, all that sort of thing. Interesting. Let's have a closer look. Certainly wasn't expecting a straight wall, but that's quite impressive. Didn't have the modern technologies that we have today to build it, but in the 12th century that is still standing, still solid. Probably held together by mud. Obviously the moss has grown there over the years, but just look at this place. I know it's quite Disney-esque, expecting to see characters come out of there. The wooden beams underneath, so that probably would have had straw on it with thatch work in there. Obviously that would have been some sort of ornate windows, but that's probably been damaged somehow and they've bricked it up. I don't know whether there would have been a moat or something around here, a small moat, but obviously drain that doesn't fit in with the olden era. We have door knocker. Let's see the 12th century door knocker. How shocked would you be if someone opened the door? Yeah, this is something that's extra. I did not expect this today. Certainly did not expect to put this in the vlog. Our main intentions was to go on a little bit of a walk and a talk. Milton Keynes has got a famous landmark. A lot of people talk about Milton Keynes based on roundabouts. When they put the blueprints in, it was like someone put a coffee mug down. Wherever a ring of a coffee mug went, they seemed to build a roundabout. But we're known for a set of sculptures called the concrete cows in Milton Keynes. So the idea is we're going to go for a walk through a pretty spooky bridge, and we're going to get to where the concrete cows are. I'll explain a bit more about those, and then within walking distance again we have the ruins of an old Roman villa. So we'll leave this site here for now and we'll continue our walk. But just a final pan round, have a look. It went on for quite a bit. Nice little find though. Okay, this is what the complex would have looked like. I guess it's been burnt down and rebuilt ever since. Now possibly where we've just looked could be here. I'm not sure. Could be any of those, because they're certainly a lot bigger than the structure that we found. Pilgrims Chapel of St Mary's number 5. Well, it says, I mean, this St Mary's Chapel is where we was. I have to say, it must be this bit. Weird. There you go. Certainly not busy today. what we're currently walking along is called a Redway. It's basically a cycle path. That's not psychopath, that's not someone with a knife who's coming out to kill you, but cycle as in bicycle. The whole of Milton Keynes has this network system of, as you see over there, people on bikes. People just cycle around. It's another way of getting off the road, yet there is still a heck of a lot of traffic around these areas. Okay, we're now close to the second destination. It's not called what I call it. I've named it the 4-in-1. Nobody else calls it this. This is just the name I've come up for it. Basically, people call it the Spooky Bridge. The reason why I've called it the 4-in-1 is, you might have just heard, there's a train track that goes over the top of a tunnel. The bridge that we're going to walk on goes through the tunnel, and underneath that bridge is a stream or stroke river. So 4-in-1. Let's have a look. Some more of the history of Bradwell Abbey, which you can get to over in that direction. Sort of location. Some of you guys ain't got a clue. If you're local to Milton Keynes, you know exactly where I am. Milton Keynes Shopping Centre is probably about a mile in that direction, and this is your Spooky Bridge stroke 4-in-1. As you can see, we're going to go on a bridge through a tunnel, so we're going to be pretty close to the roof. Whether there's bats in there, I'm not sure. There might be ducks underneath. There's no reason why bats couldn't reside in there, but we'll have a general good look. It's quite narrow, so if people coming in the other direction, we're going to have to move over. I dare say it's probably got a heck of a lot of graffiti there. As I said, there's a stream stroke small river that runs beneath the tunnel, and you've got these beams, and then above there is your main train line to London Euston. And this is your bridge through a tunnel. So it's echo, echo. So there could be bats in there. I suppose maybe they'd be a bit put off by the lighting. But this is pretty cool. Dare say you've got spiders, etc. I sort of kind of expect ducks to be below down there in the water, but none about at the moment. Rachel probably absolutely hates this. Let's have a look. Do you like this? No, she doesn't like this at all. It's not horrible. It's just it's a bit spooky. I actually think it's quite cool. I mean, look, it's not like it's collapsed. It's one of the many things that you sort of, when you're looking into doing YouTube, you look at what's about local. I mean, this is local. We do spend a lot of time going backwards and forwards to London, having a look around there. But look at that, on our doorstep. Final pan round, look back down. I might have another quick walk halfway back up and then turn around again. Yeah, I think this is very cool. I don't know if you guys have got anything similar where you live. If you have, maybe pop a link, describe what you've got, maybe I can come and explore that as well, if that's of course if it's in the UK. We predominantly go UK and America, but I've been to Canada, a few other places. But well, yeah, spooky, but cool all the same. Right, let's continue. That's your bridge number. found to get myself a ghost detecting device, so when we do these tunnels, do some spooky places, just ramp things up a bit. They're only about £20, maybe $30. Yeah, I think they're called EMVs or something. They're just low noise monitoring systems. A lot of old faff, but could make things a little bit of fun. Okay, so Milton Keynes is a grid system of horizontal and vertical roads. So what we do is, to get where we want to go, you go on so many, you go from a H3 to H4, H5, then cross into a V1, 2, 3, 4, etc. That way you can never get lost. If you do get lost, you do just completely do right angles till you get back to where you started and go over again. Okay, we've driven by car from the last destination where we was, approximately about 1.5 miles, yet you could walk it in less than 20 minutes. You went from that bridge that we was at, we would have come under there. We're doing this in a bit of reverse now because we're going to finish with the concrete kettles, but we're now at the Roman ruins, which, another thing, recent times they've discovered these, excavating probably for when they were building the houses round behind me in this area. What they would have found is maybe 1 or 2 coins, pots, etc. And then on further discovery they found that the actual area contained a Roman villa, and probably where this hill area is, what they've done is they've brushed away at the land slowly, scooped it up, a bit like panning for gold. They would have gone through, fine tooth comb, found bits as they're going, and then they've come across this outer wall section, continue to excavate it, and they've come across Roman ruins, which I'm just about to show you now. Right, these are your Bancroft area Roman villa ruins. Now these date back to 170 AD. What we have to remember on this channel is AD stands for after dinner and BC stands for before chocolate. Obviously it doesn't, but for the fun aspect of it, that's what we will stick with. Now them 2 magpies there, they have nothing to do with this, they're intruding on the vlog, but maybe the Romans would have eaten them during their time. But yeah, this was a Roman villa, just old ruins. If you look the way that the hill sort of drops, that would have followed a steady line down this way, and they've slowly eroded the earth and discovered all this, which is quite fascinating. That this is somewhere in the region of 1,500 years old, at least, maybe longer, 1,800 years maybe. It's a heck of a long time. And you look at these walls, these all would have been little rooms. I don't know, that could have been a bathroom. There is a plan round here, I'll show you that at some point. But yeah, tiny little rooms. One would have been some sort of kitchen, a bathroom area. And it just shows you some of the things that are on your doorstep. I never expected to have anything like this local to myself. I don't know whether you guys where you live have anything significant. There is mosaics that were found in one of the bathroom areas, the tiles. They are now on display in the Milton Keynes shopping centre, which, as I said, is about 1 mile away. I did do a clip of that, which gave me the idea of coming out to view this. I did a clip of that before we come up, and I'll throw that in with the vlog as well, so you can see what they look like. I mean, excavation, I believe, started in the 1970s. It's hobbyists, people enthusiastic about this sort of thing. Just over time, they've dug it out. None of this has been made up, none of this is artificial, this is all the real deal. It's quite fascinating. People that lived here are long gone. May have been regenerated over the years and might have been an original plot on this site that could have been burnt down, rebuilt again. What it basically is, for generations, the British people, we've had invaders. We had the Romans. From then on you would have had medieval times, the Vikings, etc., Normans. And what would happen after these people would have done their conquests of whatever, instead of just taking the land or what they wanted from the land, they would settle, and then from there the families would grow and they would become part of society. So if you are, in fact, say for instance you're an American and you're watching this and you think, wow, look at that history, well, you got to think to yourself that Brits that went over, the explorers, the Christopher Columbus, etc., all these people who found all these countries, they would have discovered America, although there would have been Native Americans before then, Inuits, them sort of thing, the Mayan temples and that in South America. But those who discovered the Americas as we know it today, they all would have been distant ancestors further on from the Romans that were here, and then we are distant ancestors of those. And although my accent might be a bit strange compared to yours, we all have a common connection because this is where we've all come from. Now, down here, originally I thought this was some sort of, maybe a bath itself, but actually I've read into it and this is supposed to have been a Roman fish pond. So it would have been ornate, would have probably had some fancy pots around it, etc. And in that would, I don't know what sort of fish, must have been something local. They didn't have the facilities to obviously move things about like we do nowadays. But yeah, truly fascinating site. Except without doing vlogging, I never even would have dreamt of coming to places like this. Did they interest me? Yeah, I've always had a slight hunch, to an inkling towards them, when my father being interested in medieval times, etc., before he passed years ago. And so I suppose I can follow it on from now, along with my quirky stuff I'll be doing. But I just thought this would be interesting for you guys. Behind the ruins itself, there's this tree, a little bench where people would sit down, have a break, and it's got some of the history. So what you're looking at there, in that area, and there's Rach on her phone over there, this is what we would have had. So, I mean, there's some big oxes and rams, etc. The people that would have lived all them years before us. So yeah, so it does go back for even prior to the Roman era. Bronze and Iron Ages before Roman. And obviously the Roman settlers come in, because the A5 is notorious for the Romans. They built the A5, goes from London all the way through up into North Wales. So there would have been settlements all the way along. And I've said before, the Ansini tribe, Boudica or Bodicea as some people call it, they were local to this sort of area and East Anglia, which is, we sort of border that with Milton Keynes. They had one of their last major battles in an area called, I think it's Paulsbury, just south of Toaster, which is about, probably about 10 miles from here. And obviously that tribe was wiped out by the Romans. Okay, let's move on. Hope you've enjoyed this bit. Find ourselves with yet another pretty bridge. This one not spooky at all. Although if I jump up and down on it halfway through with Rachel behind me, she'll probably freak out. I would imagine, looking at the way that the tree area, it's all sort of slopped down. This is probably a floodplain. So you've got the stream, the river, etc. down here. When from further up north or further field, the water gets too much, it'll just come flooding its way through here, burst its banks, and that's why this bridge is here. Keep the old footsies dry. Strange, there seems to be virtually nobody about today. It's just Saturday afternoon. We are in January. It is a little bit cold, but it's manageable. Right, so it says there, Roman Villa, where we've been. Now, I believe they sent Bancroft that way. Concrete cows are in this direction. I've got a map somewhere, I'll have a look at it. Beautiful looking place. Don't really get more peaceful than that. Not a soul about. Well, apart from myself, Rach. Weather's not too bad. A little bit of a breeze. Temperature's probably about maybe 8 or 9. What would that be? Possibly in the mid 40s, 50s possibly. People playing tennis. Local football match taking place, teams in minor divisions, a few spectators. Okay, that road that we went up earlier, and we went onto the estate over the back there, that's where the Roman Villa is. What we've done, I don't know how we've done it, we've walked down along this underpass here, and we was on the wrong side of the water. The cows are this side, we was that side, so we've had to go past this little bridge. Now the bridge that we originally at, the spooky one, the 4-in-1 as I called it, is the other side of those trees over there. So that shows you the proximity of everything I've shown you today. Obviously, continuous fight with the local graffiti artists. Never win. Okay, are you guys really ready for this? This is pretty special. Okay, Milton Keynes itself, as I said before, is predominantly famous for roundabouts. The connection with the name of being MK, people turn around and say, oh, Magic Kingdom, or Michael Kors handbags. But our notorious, or very famous should I say, residents that have been here for the best part of 45 to 50 years are these guys behind me. They are the world famous Milton Keynes concrete cows. Now, they were sculpted in 1978, so according to my information here. It was by an American artist, conceptual artist called Liz Layer. What was she thinking when she created these? I don't know, but let's have a closer look. Okay, the sculptures in question constitute of 3 calves and 3 cows. Now over the years they've been majorly graffitied, repainted, etc. But the one thing I will turn around and say, these are not the original concrete cows. The original concrete cows are over in that direction. There's a museum in Milton Keynes. Now basically what they done is these got a bit tired and weary, etc. And what they did do is they moved them, and a local sculptor called Bill Billings. Now if you're familiar with Milton Keynes, you know there is a Triceratops statue. He created that. There's a mural of trains in Wolverton. He created those. Also, where I live on the Lakes Estate in Bletchley, there used to be a T-Rex that he had something to do with, and behind my house there is a tunnel that is painted with a big shark. he done all that. Yeah, quite quirky little characters. Part of Milton Keynes history since the day dot. People love them, they're quite affectionate. You can buy little miniatures in the stores, in the shopping centre. And yeah, real strange but interesting stuff. Okay guys, from the cows, the Roman villas, the spooky 4-in-1 bridge, Rachel and myself, it's time to say goodbye for another episode of the vlogs. Hope you've enjoyed this. I have some other ideas with the local Milton Keynes areas. I'll be showing them to you as soon as I can. We have other trips planned. As I said, I think in a recent vlog I turned around and said I've got my birthday coming up. Got some big plans over that. Don't know yet what I'm going to do, but yeah, watch this space. Following on from this vlog, what I intend doing, if it helps any newbies or like myself, I mean I'm only new, I only just found my voice in the last couple of months as I get going with this, and you guys are on the adventure with us. I'm going to show you how I go from producing the vlog that you've seen today, how I go on to editing it, importing it from the Canon G7X Mark II to my iPhone, using earpods. I'll plug them in, have a cup of tea, basically break down what I need to edit, mix it all together in a big batch and throw it down on YouTube. So be worth a look. Take care, enjoy the rest of your weekend, be safe, and I'll catch you all soon. See you later, bye.